Hi, everyone. I'm here today with Austin Hardware and Supply President Bill Stanball. We're going to talk to you a little bit about cable linkage systems. Bill, why would somebody use cables, say, versus rods?
Jay, it's great seeing you. Thanks for taking some time to help us out with this today. Cables versus rods. Well, lower cost. You know, it's a prime driver in most things we do. So the unit costs of the cable might be slightly higher than what a rod costs, but at the end of the day, the installed cost is probably far less. Fewer SKUs, easier to fish the cable through the door and around obstructions. It's quieter. You know, those people that are focused on noise, vibration, and harshness can actually reduce a lot of rattles and a lot of noise by getting rid of the rods. They're non-corrosive. So, you know, you take all those things out, look at lifetime cost of the product. I think cables are a no-brainer.
Interesting. Bill, talk to us from a cost basis standpoint. How do cables compare to rods as far as cost goes?
Yeah, I touched on that a little bit earlier. So the cables probably at the line item level are going to be a little bit more expensive. There's more to them. And you have options that you can build into the cable itself that will add costs, things like adjustment and spring-loaded features and those kind of features. So the cable might be slightly higher, but for all the reasons I've commented on earlier, the installed cost is likely lower with the cable.
Everybody has choices. What choices does the designer have to consider in using cable systems?
Well, let's start with the basic choice, the most basic choice of all. It's really the length of the cable. And the beauty of cables is that you can consolidate many rod SKU part numbers under one cable length. So if you have rods that range from 13 to 47 inches, you can probably accommodate that with one cable that's 48 inches long. So if you have 15 rod SKUs, you can get those all down to one. So that's the most important thing that I think a designer really has to wrap their head around is what length maximizes my SKU reduction and simplifies things for the production team. But you also have material, could be steel, stainless, could be a webbed product of some kind, like a nylon product of some kind. You have bare or coated cables. So not all cables have sleeving on them, but most do. And they can be adjustable. They can have a threaded set of jam nuts on there that allow you to adjust the cable. And of course, you have the end fittings. There are, I'll say, a dozen standard end fittings that you could choose from based upon how you want that cable to interact with the latch and the actuator.
Are there any concerns about the cables possibly stretching?
That's a great question. Decades ago, there were problems with cable stretching. The manufacturing techniques of today, the materials, the stranding, the way they put the cables together, and just the overall design of the cables, that's really a thing of the past. For example, Ford uses cable systems in the Ford Transit vehicles. So the linkage between the door handles and the latches, that's almost all cable connections. So I think designers in today's commercial vehicle market could feel very confident in using cables. That'll last the lifetime of the vehicle.
Well, thank you, everyone, for joining us today. And please feel free to check out our cable linkage systems as well as many innovative products and solutions at our website, www.austinhardware.com. And once again, thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Jay. Have a great day.